You're not as smart as you think. If I were brutally honest, that's what this video should be called. But the problem is, most people are too proud to hear a truth like that. They'd rather believe in their own brilliance than admit the limits of their mind. Here's the paradox. The human brain is the most sophisticated piece of biology in the known universe, yet in many ways, it's already outdated. A few thousand years ago, a single person could realistically know almost everything humanity knew at the time. Not because people back then were geniuses, but because there just wasn't much to know. The world was simple, without quantum mechanics, modern medicine, or the internet. A farmer could live his entire life without encountering a single new piece of knowledge that shook his worldview. Fast forward to today, knowledge is exploding at a pace we can't even keep up with. There are entire industries, whole libraries, and endless science channels, just to digest the flood of discoveries happening every day. Take Descartes, for example. Sure, some of his metaphysical ideas sound like childish nonsense now, but compared to his era, he was a giant. His cogito, ergo sum, I think therefore I am, is still one of the hardest truths to deny. Yet ask the average person today what thinking even means, and you'll likely get a confused shrug. Psychologists define thinking as a process of organizing and reflecting reality through knowledge. But here's the kicker. Intelligence isn't one neat number you can measure on an IQ test. It's a messy, layered system of cognitive abilities. Reducing it to a single score is like trying to rate an entire orchestra with one note. So what really makes you intelligent isn't raw memory or IQ. It's the clarity and accuracy of the mental map of reality inside your head. The philosopher Krieger once said, "Man is the product of the universe evolving towards self-understanding." Let that sink in for a second. It means you're not just here to survive or pay bills. You're literally the universe trying to make sense of itself. When we're kids, this is obvious. We come into the world as blank slates, tabula rasa, curious, asking endless questions, poking at everything, even sticking our fingers into sockets just to see what happens. But somewhere along the way, most of us lose that spark. Curiosity gets replaced with complacency. Instead of questioning, we settle for easy answers, horoscopes, conspiracy theories, fake medicine. And here's the painful irony. In our pockets we carry the smartphone, a gateway to the sum of human knowledge, yet billions of people still choose superstition over science, memes over facts, comfort over truth. That's why when people repeat the cliché that we only use 10% of our brain, I almost believe them. At least when I look at how the majority of humanity actually uses theirs. Let me emphasize this. True intelligence is about building the most accurate, objective picture of reality you can. Yes, the brain is powerful. In theory, it could hold the equivalent of 250,000 books. But no one could possibly absorb and organize all of humanity's knowledge in a single lifetime. Even if we lived forever, most wouldn't care to try. And beyond memory, the brain comes with built-in flaws. Metacognitive error. We often misjudge how much we actually know. Illusion of knowledge. We think we understand something until a child asks us to explain it, and suddenly we're speechless. The Dunning-Kruger effect, perhaps the cruelest of all. The less someone knows, the more confident they are in their intelligence. That's why so many fools project certainty, while truly brilliant people quietly drown in self-doubt. So yes, most people are dumber than they think, but here's the hope. You don't need to know everything to rise above the majority. To outthink 95% of people, you simply need to do what most won't. Question everything, strip away assumptions, and build your worldview piece by piece, based on evidence, honesty, and reason. If you don't, you'll spend your life trapped in borrowed beliefs, the opinions of others, the culture you grew up in, and the natural blind spots of the human mind. But if you do, you'll stop being part of the crowd,